So I've definitely had some challenging days in my life. Nothing too bad, can't complain, but today was one that wasn't very fun. So just 2 days ago, I was telling you guys about my movie room and the new update with the home theater recliners from Valencia that were customized. And I talked a little bit about how we're planning to move. And we're planning to move, for a few reasons. Bigger family, need more space, but a lot of the space that we need comes from me working from home and doing YouTube. And I want to get a dedicated, larger space to have a better YouTube studio and do some more stuff on YouTube and have a dedicated home office. So we're thinking about selling the house, of course. We're thinking about moving, and what happens, but the devil that is home ownership reared its ugly head, and now I got a hole in my ceiling because of some water damage I had no idea was coming. So if you've been watching my channel for some time, this is where I usually sit. I'm in this corner. I have the setup with the movie shelves, all that good stuff. You might see old Freddy over here out of the corner of your eye sometimes. But right now, that corner of the room looks very different than it usually does, because that's a bunch of drywall that's fallen apart. That's a bucket full of water, and that is a hole in the ceiling. So I'm in this room last night. I'm sitting over here. I'm watching Matrix Resurrections on 4K, getting ready to do that review. And all of a sudden, out of this recessed light comes pouring a bunch of water.
I don't need water! Water's for quitters!
And typically, movie shelves are right here. Now, I've moved them, but to start, water was pouring down on top of this. It got a few movies wet. They dried out okay. It was kind of running down the sides, but thank God I was actually sitting in the room and I could act quickly and get that figured out. So, grabbed the bucket. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? You never want to see water coming out of your recessed light. So obviously it's an issue with the roof. I think it's the snow melting off, and we have a rubber roof above this, and it must have gotten punctured or sprang a leak somewhere, because this morning I came in the room and I'm checking and I'm like, okay, where's it wet? Where's it wet? Where's it wet? And wouldn't you know, that's about the size of my fist right there, because my hand went right up through the ceiling as I was poking around to make holes to try to drain any residual water. So now we got a gaping hole that's going up into the roof and the insulation.
It looks like I'm a wreck. It's in the hole! It's in the hole! Hey.
And now this corner of the room and potentially the whole ceiling is going to have to be redone, which puts me out of commission for a little while. So I was going to have to do this anyway, but there's a very good chance that I need to move all of this stuff, move my work from home set up over there, move all of my chairs that I just moved in here, all these movies I had to scramble to save, this shelf. I mean, I was going to have to move it anyway when we moved, but there's a very good chance that they're going to want to redo the entire ceiling, or at least a very significant portion of it over in this area. It does only seem to be wet around here. It's probably like a 3x3 area, and coming over here, we don't have that issue. This is nice and dry. So we'll see. I have somebody from Serve Pro coming tomorrow. And just to say that this is a shadow right here too. So I didn't get water like down the walls. That is just a shadow, even though it looks like a water stain. So it's not great. Definitely not great. Had a few movies that got a little bit wet, but managed to salvage them. Have a towel down just in case any water did come out of anywhere else and spill. But I'll say I got very lucky this time around. So I could have easily been downstairs making dinner. I could have been asleep. That would have been terrible. I could have never walked into this room last night and not noticed this. And it could have been a lot worse than it was. So I have to say I'm grateful that I was literally sitting here watching a movie when it happened. Obviously, that makes you stop the movie and pause. Luckily, I was towards the end anyway, but I'm very lucky I caught it. I'm lucky that only a few movies that were sitting on top of these shelves got a little bit damaged and a little bit trickled down the side. Nothing too bad, nothing that can't dry out. It wasn't that wet. It wasn't a ton of water. So lucky there, and right now I'm just sort of waiting. Poked a couple holes, tried to drain it, got a fan going, have the bucket there just in case. And then we just go fingers crossed and hope that this is a a quick fix, and it doesn't involve a full roof job and roof joists, and I can't even get into that. It is just a rubber roof above this. There's no pipes. There's nothing above it other than insulation in the roof. So maybe they can fix a section. The roofing guys can figure out what went wrong and seal that portion up. But I'm going to get it done right. Make sure it's done right. Never want to sell a house to somebody with, problems. We're obviously going to tell them about it now and make sure it's fixed before we go to do anything. Not that we've even listed the house yet, but we'll get this all done first and do it right. And hopefully I'll be able to get back in here, but potentially maybe a little bit longer on some videos and 4K reviews, given I may need to move some equipment out and move some stuff around. I knew that was going to happen with the move anyway, but this really threw a wrench into the plans here. Typically I like to leak new movie releases, and this is not the type of leak that I was hoping for today. I was hoping I could leak to you guys that like a movie like Seven was coming to 4K. Instead, my ceiling leaked. So totally the wrong kind of leak, but we'll get through it. I'll find a way to make videos. I found a way to work. I moved all my stuff down to the kitchen table. I made it work today. So I'll keep making videos. I can obviously do the Matrix 4K review because I watched that, and we can do other videos, and maybe this is the time to start the podcast and do some audio only stuff. But I'll keep you guys updated, but just so you know, this is what's going on. Not the best situation. If you guys have dealt with this, I'm sure you know it's home ownership. It sucks. But luckily stuff wasn't damaged. There wasn't a big flood. This wasn't, nobody got hurt. Everyone's good. Everyone's safe. We just have to fix it. So, could be worse. Certainly could have been a disaster if I didn't catch it. So I am thanking my lucky stars for that one. But just a quick update here for you. Not the most fun update in the world, but hopefully I'll get back to videos soon. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any when they come live. And make sure you follow me on social media for updates, because I'll be posting there while I try to figure stuff out in the house. So thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, stay healthy out there, and I'll talk to you all soon.